Hello, 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 and welcome back to Moving Mountains for You. This is your host, Ice Celadon. I go by Sachi Ice Queen on a lot of social media. And today we have a really special episode. I met some amazing people and wanted to definitely get them on the radio, get them to you to listen to, so you guys could listen to their amazing wisdom, just a little bit of who they are, and just a little bit of our experience with what we went through and what we experienced together. And so it was a lot of fun. I had a really good time being a child free. I'm sure for any moms out there. And anytime that we're away from our kids, it's always nice, we get a little break, especially special needs moms and dads. I feel for you guys, and it's a little bit more severe when it comes to certain situations. So it's definitely always nice when we get a break. And we were in San Antonio, Texas, with the amazing Daniel Gomez and his wife Mari, and it was a Millionaire boot camp, and so. We met a bunch of authors, millionaires, Dr. Rob Kelly, which is going to be on in the next episode as well. So definitely be on the lookout for that. And then Brian Covey is, of course, too. So Michael D. Butler was there too from Beyond Publishing. And so there's just a lot of amazing people there that just really changed people's lives. Like I personally, it was amazing. But we have here, Michelle. Definitely reintroduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself, and then we'll get started. Oh, I think you're muted.
There we go. Am I unmuted? Beautiful. So my name's Michelle, and I actually live on the East Coast with my husband, Daniel. He's also on this call, and I came to the Millionaire Mindset Bootcamp, and I also had my world rocked and transformed by Daniel Gomez and our amazing speakers. And I met everybody that's on this call, and it was a really, really powerful weekend. I would recommend it for anyone.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think the amount of information that we got, and just, the prayers, the affirmations, the little, things that we did that you can't really do unless you're there. And so that little breakthrough, that doesn't really happen until you're really there in person. So
it doesn't. And then the relationships I didn't know you before we went, but like we made the best connections. And now these connections are going to be long-term connections that are going to be something you can't replace. You can't get that on, virtual. You have to be in person at that kind of an event to find those connections. So I'm just super blessed and thankful that I went, and it was the best time. I would encourage again, anybody to go if they want to, skyrocket who they are and what they're doing, and just really put the gas on what they're doing. Because sometimes it is our mindsets. We could have everything in front of us and all the capability, but if we don't believe we can, then we won't. And then that's not a good way to live. Like we need to be doing what we're created to do.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, whenever I went, I honestly, when Daniel called me, I didn't really want to go. I was just being I'll just be honest. I didn't want to go. I didn't want to invest that much money in myself because I felt like I was pretty good. Like I'm about to be in a fashion show. Shout out to Sinicia Davis. And so I'm just over here working on my health goals, working out all the time. And so it was gonna just kind of not be in the groove, not be in like my routine, to get me to the best shape possible for the fashion show. And so it was kind of like it just kind of was unexpected. And I told Daniel no the first time.
He doesn't take no for an answer though. That guy is persistent.
Yeah,
he is persistent.
But if you think about it, I mean, that's how God is too. Like, how many times have we just, walked away and just been like, I'm sorry, this is not for me, we don't do it in a rude way, maybe, but, we still say no in our actions. And so, but yeah, I told Daniel no, and I was like, and then he was like, listen, you need to come because you need to invest in you. And I'm like, And so it kind of hit me, and I was like, huh. And so I kind of thought about it and I was like, okay, I'll go ahead and do it. And so, thank God I had the funds to do that. Not everyone has that opportunity. And so, because I'm a realtor and a publisher, and then, of course, I'm part of this nonprofit, Learning Idiom. We break language barriers and culture barriers by perfecting people's English and Spanish. So we get to serve our bilingual community. And so if you're listening to this, you're part of our community. And so definitely appreciate every single one of my students and interns and business partners. Shout out to Claudia Fountain. She is my co-host, and she definitely will be going to the next one. So yeah, I'm excited for what the results of everything that happened, just how everything plays out. I already can feel like I'm a different person. I don't know if if that was you could say the same, Michelle. Tell us a little bit about your experience over there.
I honestly did not know what I was walking into. And honestly, I don't think I've showed this with Daniel Gomez, but me and him, and my husband will remember this, but me and him had an interaction quite a few months back, and Daniel spoke some truth over me, which really pissed me off. And I was really angry. I was like, I don't need this guy. Like, he's wrong. And my husband's like, he's actually right. So, I mean, the relationship didn't start out the best, but sometimes the best leaders will say the things that are hard truths, even though you don't want to hear it in the moment. You do need to hear it. And sometimes it takes some time for that to soak in and for you to absorb. Okay, it was truth. What do I do with this truth? But no, I mean, I didn't know why I was going. In fact, I was supposed to be somewhere else and I had other plans, but the Lord switched up the plans and redirected me to that weekend. And I will tell you that I have the capability. I do evangelism and Bible study and authoring and stuff, but my issue isn't getting time in the word at this point. It is the mindset and my viewpoint of wealth and what does it mean to be a believer and have wealth, because I am from a background that people are praised for poverty, essentially, like, oh, you're a believer, you need to be poor. And it's like, no, that's not necessarily true. In fact, that's a flagrant lie. Like, we need to go over and be the ones with the wealth and have the confidence to know that, we have what it takes inside of us, not because of us, but because what God puts inside of us to go out and get what God has in for us. And I think Daniel Gomez and our amazing speakers really did a fantastic job communicating that to us. So I was abundantly blessed. I am excited to be back for Sticker Shock in September. And I was telling people on the way home, on the plane, in the airport, just like, you gotta go to this guy. It was great. It was great.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. It was like, I don't know, definitely. Like, I had the same experience. Like, I was like, I wasn't really, I've had that experience with Daniel too. So you're not the only one. Like,
Not shocking.
I was like, who is this guy? Like, who is he to tell me and treat and like tell me like that, like in my face like that? Really? Like, why you gotta be so honest in my face like that? And I didn't know him. He's always been like that from the very beginning. He's always been in your face, like telling you just the truth in like the kindest way, but you still don't, you still kind of like feel offended. It hurts. Like, it really does. Like, I was like, in the beginning, I was like, whoa, like, this guy doesn't even know me, Mm-hmm. And so, but now I've known him for about like 3 years. And so it's just a different perspective now. Like, I appreciate his, correction, because that's exactly what it is. Most of the time, like, there has not been one time where he told me something and then I was like, no, that's not true. No, like, everything that he tells me, like, he calls me out, and I'm like, I need people like that. I need people that keep me accountable. And so, Ngoc is with us as well. So hello.
Hello, good to see y'all. I don't know Daniel. Is this your husband?
This is my husband.
Okay, how are you?
Doing good.
Yeah, so thank you for organizing and bringing us together here to
for sure
connect and see what do we do next, right? How
Absolutely.
do we hold each other accountable where we're going? And I mean, I'm excited that we have this group together.
For sure. Yeah. And so
hopefully Daniel doesn't feel left out. Are you?
100% feel left out all the time.
Oh.
He's my support system.
But Daniel would then convict me of that and say, I'm not supposed to have that negative speak. So Daniel, if you're listening, I'm sorry, I made a joke.
So have you been
Daniel,
to
like
a-
on a personal level, he won't get offended. Like he won't.
No,
like,
he does.
he's-
If you do negative self-talk, he will just tell you,
That's
it's like,
true.
that's not
That's
God,
true.
that's not his word. The
That's true.
first interaction I had with him, he's like, how's your day? I said, well, I'm like an M&M. I'm like, look beautiful on the outside, but melting on the inside because I have injuries. And he refuted that with me in the middle of the conversation. He's like, the Lord doesn't call you to be broken. And he just basically convicted me right there and then.
Oh my goodness, that's powerful stuff. Right?
Yeah, it
So
is.
Ari, have you been to any of the events before, Daniel?
No, I've just empowered Michelle to go over and go. And that was even a conviction right before we went because we're still paying on the program and whatnot. And then we committed to days, but it was like a rough month. And I was trying to ask for a delay. And he's like, you made a commitment. And I'm like, all right, I'll figure out a way. And the Lord's going to have us go through it. So my word is sanctification. That's what he's doing in me. So it's been very interesting. Sometimes you have to go out in faith for this to happen. So it was faith to get Michelle out there.
Oh, what's
Yeah.
the saying that they used to say that they said it's like you buy something and then you sign the check and God will pay for it? That's one of the things that Daniel Gomez, one of our speakers, did say, and it was pretty powerful.
Oh yeah, for sure. I've experienced that myself. Like I'm just like, where did that money come from for me to go to that trip? And then I don't know, God always provides. And ever since I've been leaning more into him, like he literally asked me and convicted me, was like, do you trust me? And I was like, yeah, I trust you, but wasn't very like confident about it. And then, the more and more that I just lean in and just kind of let go, the more I see that, that there's that saying, when you leave everything in God's hands, you see his hand in everything that you do. So
Absolutely.
I think that's definitely something that I personally have seen in my life recently, but definitely wanted to say hello, Christy Lopez.
Christy. Where's your man?
Yeah, where's your man?
He's working late. Actually, I'm trying to connect via the computer instead of my phone. It's asking for a meeting passcode. Is there a meeting passcode?
It's called, I think it was Empire, but even if you're on your phone, that's okay. I think it was Empire though. And if it wasn't that, I think it was probably Win or something. I don't know. Something
Okay.
short. I like to keep it short, but Knock, whenever you went, what was your experience? Will you share a little bit with us what your experience was like?
Sure. For me, I didn't know what to expect since Daniel and I, so Daniel and I met a few years ago, and I've been like keeping tabs with him on Facebook, and finally we connected on Zoom and just chit chatted, and he invited me to the event. The whole I went there by myself initially, and then when Daniel interviewed me on his podcast, he heard my story and he felt like he should invite my son, which he invited my son, Jonathan. So my son Jonathan's 18 years old, was in college. And so Jonathan came, but the first day he didn't come. So just to let you know, Daniel, that's what happened. The first day, Jonathan didn't feel comfortable in coming. And God just so happened to put Daniel Gomez at the lobby when we walked in, and Daniel Gomez talked to Jonathan and was able to convince Jonathan to come on the second day. But we prayed for him to come because I shared that I wanted him to come to the group, and we all had a prayer, and Jonathan showed up miraculously. I mean, it always divine timing. So it was good. I mean, for me, the experience was a lot of the things that I've learned in terms of mindset, because I do a lot of self-improvement. I listen to books on tapes all the time. And actually, Daniel's calling me right now.
That's funny. Well, yeah,
but it was an amazing, transformative experience with Jonathan and I. And I feel like my son and I have kind of bridged the gap in terms of our communication a little bit, and just feel more like at peace in terms of where we're going with our relationship and how he's seeing life, and changing a lot of the things that he himself was struggling with. So it's been amazing. It's really been transformative for us.
That's amazing. I think it was amazing to see, for sure, to see how, prayer changes things,
Mm.
and how you just felt the community fighting on their knees for your son.
Mm.
Me being a mother, that was, to me, a really special moment for me, because I was like, wow, a bunch of strangers praying for, your son, and then seeing that transformation, just kind of, it was very, very, to me, amazing. But
Mm.
definitely wanted to say hi to Christy Lopez, and wanted to, introduce you guys to her. We wanted to give her the spotlight and give her the mic to share a little bit about herself, and what she does, and how she changes the world and changes her world. And so go ahead and reintroduce yourself, Christy. Say whatever you do, the amazing scientist that you are. So we'd love to hear everything that you got to share for us.
Hi, y'all. It was a pleasure to meet you, Michelle, and Aslith, and Ngoc, and Daniel from afar.
Yeah.
It was great to meet you all, and this actually was my second Millionaires boot camp. I attended the very first one back in November, and it was let's just say the second one was 10 times better, because it was it was good, but then this one was like hit it out of the ballpark. I can't wait for the next one. Anyhow, I've been, as you all know, I have I'm currently, my current job title is a scientist. I have a master's in biology. I earned it from I earned my master's at UTSA and my undergrad at UC Santa Cruz. I'm born and raised from California, and I currently live in San Antonio, Texas. But ever since I was young, I've always liked to sell things. And I remember as a little girl, my mom got this catalog, and it had all these little knickknacks that if you sell a certain amount, you get that whatever knickknack they want to give you, right? So I remember going door to door at our apartment complex, and knocking on all the doors and getting people to buy these things, so I can get like I think I wanted to get like some fishing rods or something. So so I did that, and I always knew that, God had installed in me some business type of thing in me ever since I was little. Another thing too, ever since I was in elementary, I always had a knack for writing as well. And I remember my teachers telling me that every time we would have to write stories, they would put my story first because they enjoyed reading my stories.
Mm.
And but somewhere along the line, along the way in life, that got put in the back burner, and I didn't think I could make a living being a writer or being in business. And so I started looking at other things, and that's how I got into the sciences, because I've always loved life. I always loved to study life, and biology is the study of life, right? And but I still have that business mentality and the writing, and I want to do something with that, and God's instilled that in me. And I'm not getting any younger, and I'm not going to be here forever, so I got to start now.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, I think whenever it comes to your gifts and what God gives you, it's very unique to every person. Not everyone, there's the reason why there's 5 fingers in a hand. Not everyone can be the thumb, not everyone can be, the pinky. So I think when God, gives out his gifts, it's very, very unique to that person. And so, it's amazing that you love to write. Authors R Us is the first bilingual publishing company here in the state of Arkansas, and I'm fortunate enough to be part of it.
That's awesome.
And that's one of my favorite things to do other than the podcasting. And the reason why I love that is because, I mean, my bachelor's, is in journalism. My emphasis was print. So literally I have, 4 years of literally, and technically it's 7 years because I did 3 years in high school as well. So I have, 7 years under my belt of just studying writing and reading. And, I think that's why I love teaching, whenever I do. Not very often anymore since I became a realtor, but whenever I do get the opportunity, like once a month, it's definitely a very joyous experience for me because I've always enjoyed teaching. And so the reading and the writing definitely helped being, a good teacher. Certified to teach Spanish. And so I love, everything to do with our culture. I'm from California too. So I think it was amazing to get to connect with you and Hector and, all the Latinos, just because we share that in common. And so definitely wanted to hear a little bit of your story. So that thank you for sharing with us and with our audience, being vulnerable, because not everybody can do that. And just the fact that you can write and like you write well, that just shows that, God gave you a mouthpiece for a reason. And it's, he didn't give that to everyone, not everyone has that gift. And I've realized that. And so that's the reason why I always tell people when they want to come on the show, are you scared of the mic? So I'm glad that you're not. So, but one of the questions I always ask all my guests is, if life was a lesson, what would you say it's been teaching you using one word?
One word. Let's see. Resilience, I guess.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Yeah, I think whenever it comes to, being persistent with someone and, staying strong, I think most Latinos have that gene. Like we have that in our blood.
Yes.
And but it's because I mean, we just as far as I can remember, I've never met a family member of mine that did not hold some kind of like really strong quality, have that like oomph of whatever it is. And so and I think that's something very, very common in the Latino culture, and I'm very, very fortunate for that, because I don't think I would be able to survive as a special needs mother in the world that we live in now if I didn't have that strength. And so definitely I appreciate that a lot about our culture.
Yeah.
But it was Asian Heritage Month. So definitely wanted to shout knockout and the Asian culture, because I love your food. My John, he's my co-host sometimes. He's known as the monarch of fire. He loves Asian food. And so we tend to eat a lot of Asian food. So definitely wanted to shout knockout and her culture as well. I think when you're a teacher, you kind of enjoy all of the cultures. So, but yeah, it's definitely, such a joy to, see your guys' faces again. And for everyone that's listening or watching, if you're on YouTube, make sure you keep an eye on us, because we're going to be doing a lot more episodes. Today, we wanted to highlight, Christy and what she does. And definitely share with us, if you have any upcoming events, or if you just, a little bit more about what you do, the name of your business. Definitely any shout outs you want to give as well.
Yeah. Well, I'm currently selling Touchstone Crystal, and it's designed by Swarovski. The crystals are the top grade crystals that you see at a Swarovski store, but they're made for the everyday woman. So it's at a lower price point, but it's still the same top grade crystal, just different designs than what you'll see at the Swarovski store. I'm a direct I guess, a direct salesperson for them, a consultant. So, yeah, I started this back in September of 2020. I just fell in love with the jewelry, and I just love, to feel pretty, and I like to have other women feel beautiful, and it's at an affordable price. And the business itself, it's you make money even though you don't have to have a big team. You still make money. It's not like any like other businesses direct sales out there, where you have to build a big team before you start seeing money. But yeah, that's what I'm doing now. But
That's exciting.
Yeah.
It's exciting. I love jewelry. My mom loves jewelry too. So, we'll leave her link in the description. So if you're watching or if you're listening, definitely check out the bio or the description of the video. Next week, in the next couple of weeks, we're going to be highlighting each of the people that is in our team, our little group, and we all went to eat amazing food, and definitely wanted to create this group, and that way we can keep each other accountable at the same time as we're encouraging each other. So next week we'll definitely be able to highlight another person. So, but yeah, definitely wanted to shout out and give the spotlight to Christy Lopez and everything that she's doing. She's amazing. She was our tour guide, y'all.
She's a good tour guide. We had so much fun.
Yeah,
It was a lot of fun.
for
That
sure.
was a blast.
She was like telling us in details what they do, what this does, like or
Yep.
Hotel Emma. Yeah,
This place is beautiful.
Oh yeah. So but yeah, definitely wanted to give Ngoc or Michelle any last words before we end it out for today.
Ngoc, you go first.
No, I appreciate you organizing this, and so we can meet and share more of our story. I look forward to hearing more of Michelle's story, and also Daniel too, and so he doesn't feel like he's excluded.
He's off in outer space there, just floating around.
Exactly. I'm already
I
excluded
like it. I
off
like
on the
it.
planet.
He bought me those headphones, and I was like, I can't do those headphones. So I stole his. I was like, I cannot do those.
Only theft is allowed in marriage. I don't understand
Exactly.
why. You should be arrested right now just by
I like
saying
it.
that.
I like it.
Awesome.
Well, like what they say, "What's yours is mine." I know
Exactly.
my man for sure.
Yeah. What's yours is mine. What's mine's mine.
Exactly. I like it.
Pain again. Thanks.
Yeah, I think
Thank
it's
you.
a very, very common thing in marriage.
I think it is a healthy marriage anyways. I think a good balance is, what's mine is mine and what's mine is yours. And
But if I stole from your drawers, it would be wrong.
It would be, because nothing that stuff belongs to me. That could be entertaining.
Yep. A woman's wardrobe doubles in size when they get married to a man, and a man's wardrobe cuts down by half.
Oh, that's true.
It's true. It's true. No, I'm
And
so
now
thankful.
I have daughters and my
Wow.
son, and they're stealing my clothes too. I had to scrape at this one.
That's so funny that you say that, because I always love wearing, John's shirts, because when he's not here, if I'm wearing his clothes, I feel like he's close to me. And so I actually took one to San Antonio because I knew he wasn't going to be able to go. And so it's definitely comforting to have something that he wears. And so you should feel special.
Nope. Nope.
I'll feel
I feel
special for you.
when I buy her clothes and she wears them. That's when I feel special.
He's good at clothes shopping. But now I just want to close this out. I just want to say that thank you so much I know we had a conversation before we left, and I was like, please, we both communicated that, like, hey, we should probably have some kind of group moving forward, because it's super easy to be really hyped in a weekend and then go home and lose all of your momentum because all of your encouragers were at that group. And I have the most encouraging husband, but I don't know the situation with everybody here. But I'm glad that we have each other to hold each other accountable, to be encouraged, and that we can watch each other grow exponentially. I'm excited to see every person on here grow. I'm excited to see myself grow. And I know we're all in different stages and we all have different, you know, pain points that we're working through right now, and we're all headed in the same direction. And I'm really glad that this is going to be something consistent, that we're going to be able to be here and kind of being each other's Kool-Aid, kind of, you know, take a little bit of Daniel Gomez's aggressiveness and apply it to each other, not because we want to be mean to each other, but because we truly love everyone and we want to, you know, motivate everybody to success.
For sure. Yeah. And definitely wanted to, you know, in Clubhouse, if you have the app, they say, you know, to give flowers. So definitely wanted to give Michelle her flowers, and, you know, commend her and applaud her for the speech that she gave. The little, you know, it was amazing for your first time being on stage. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You got to speak right after a millionaire. Like,
I was like, what?
yeah, not everybody can do that or say that. Oh, hey, Kevin, my son, you know,
Hey,
you want to say hi? Oh, he's being shy today. Maybe another time. He's it's a hit or miss with him, you know, sometimes he will, sometimes he won't. Today he saw faces he does not recognize, so he probably was like, nah, probably not this one. But you know, thank you so much for you guys taking the time to meet with me, and I'm excited for what's to come. I originally we were gonna have every week, but I'm thinking every 2 weeks I think would be more appropriate, so that we can all plan, you know. So definitely I'll be seeing on you guys on here the next, you know, in the next 2 weeks, and then of course in our little Facebook group. We'll be posting on there regularly, just making sure we keep each other accountable with our goals and where we need to be in our business and our personal life. And I'm just excited. I'm excited for everyone's growth. And, you know, I love seeing the smiles and the hearts and all of the likes and all that stuff. It's a lot of fun. So if you haven't hit the subscribe button, definitely hit that, and stay tuned for our next episode. We are going to have Dr. Rob Kelly on the podcast next, and so I'm super excited for you guys to hear him, because he is amazing. I don't know about you guys, but I've never met a person where literally within the first minute of them talking, I could feel his energy.
Yep.
Like, I was like, whoa, this guy's at another level. And I'm like, and I like it. So,
it was good. It was good.
So yeah, definitely I'm doing all the practices that he told us to do, the breathing exercises and those types of things. So definitely wanted to remind you guys to breathe. So but yeah, take care everyone. God bless. Peace be with you, and stay tuned for the next episode, y'all.
Nice meeting you.
Bye.
Bye. Talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.